Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some monster news to talk about. From our first look at the brand new upcoming Skulltimate Secrets Series 7 OASIS line, including Jennifier and Laguna, we also have some more updates and rumors surrounding the return of Robecca in G3, River Styx, and Rochelle, and more, so stay tuned to subscribe and let's get into it. First off, yes, the Skulllector Megan doll officially released to the public on June 11th, and as of recording right now, she is still available on Mattel Creations, which is amazing, honestly. I was right there when the launch happened because I was scared to death that she was gonna sell out immediately in seconds. So I had prepared enough money on my cart, like I had it all prepared, so it would all go smoothly, and thankfully it did. You know, there was a captcha with like having to identify, like having to tap on all the dogs on the pictures with dogs in it or whatever. Did something happen like that to you with like captcha? And that got me nervous, but thankfully we passed it, and then it went through, and yeah, yay. So this is technically my first collector doll ever. I have the Wednesday dolls, but I don't count them as collector because they're not really branded as collector dolls. They were also Playline, so to me this is like my official like first collector doll, which I'm so pleased. It's Megan. I actually love the movie and I can't wait to see the sequel. So I think it's like no better timing than for my first collector to be, you know, the Megan doll. So, I'm just happy I got her. I'm relieved because, you know, she was expensive. She was like almost 90 for me in my currency, with shipping and stuff, which is a lot, like almost $100 for like one doll. But I thought it's better to get her this way than to have to pay almost like 150 for her or even more on eBay. So definitely I'm just glad I got her for the price that I did, you know, officially through Mattel Creations. And again, she is still available on the website. So if you missed out, or if you thought like, oh, she sold out, I shouldn't try anymore, like, no, she's still available like right now. So if you were doubting you wanting to get her or not, you know, she's there for you to buy right now. Again, that might change by the time you're watching this, you know, but as I'm filming right now, like definitely like many hours later after her drop, she's still available. Like that's honestly crazy because Megan is a huge IP, like really recognizable brand, and also just as a type of iconography for the character design, like she's very recognizable. She's like on the level of Chucky and you know, like other Skulllectors that they've had in the past. And you know, the Lost Boys Skulllector doll, that one did not sell out. She's still available to this day, but that one to me, that's less surprising because the Lost Boys isn't as like in the zeitgeist right now. It's not as popular right now of a brand as Megan is. So, but again, Megan still being available, like that's kind of shocking to me because, you know, we're getting a sequel movie, and she is just like a really popular character. So maybe that's a good sign, obviously, that I guess they have, you know, new regulations against bots and stuff, so that's great. I do wonder like how long she will be available, because I you know, maybe a couple days perhaps, I'm not sure. Like the Squid Game doll is also still available, and she released like back last year, so definitely crazy. But yeah, what do you think of the Megan's collector doll? Did you try to get her or not? And if not, why so? Okay, next up, yes, we have developments, it seems, for G3 Robecca, as she might actually be coming sometime next year. So these are just rumors right now, but we kind of have more information shared by the user who also shared the Jade Fashion Pixies Reimagined leak. So from that same user, they wrote on Twitter that apparently G3 Robecca's design will have a white top with a similar back to her G1 doll, wavy black hair with some blue highlights, and gold-ish sunglasses. So that's kind of like the description of, yeah, her look. Then apparently there was also a leaked image floating around that is probably fake, so I'm not going to show it here, but obviously you've seen the thumbnail, so basically it's probably not real, but it still doesn't take away from the description that we just heard, which does seem very likely, because apparently this information comes from someone's friend who works at Mattel, or who had access to the, you know, like account and in Mattel, like admin account, and apparently they saw that, you know, G3 Robecca's design is approved, and Rochelle as well is coming, and River Styx, they are partially approved. So what does this actually mean? Like, are they coming? Are they not coming? Let's remember here that those characters we just mentioned, they were initially supposed to appear in the G3 animated series on Nickelodeon. They were supposed to come in the 3rd season. That's confirmed. They were supposed to come. They were in early drafts of the plot and descriptions, so they were coming, and also their names were recently renewed in trademark. So it's for sure that they were supposed to appear in a potential 3rd season, but because the Nickelodeon animated show got canceled, that never obviously came to fruition. So now it seems that Mattel might be bringing back these characters after all, but just perhaps next year. Again, G3 Robecca, Rochelle, and River Styx. So yeah, that's apparently what we have so far. And again, the description for Robecca as well, which really, you know, like a white top, similar back to G1, wavy black hair with blue streaks. I mean, all of this sounds basically the same like G1 Robecca. Just, you know, here also, like, apparently she has a skinny body, probably like Frankie's body type then. But yeah, I think this is very likely that we are going to see G3 Robecca indeed. I think it's just a matter of time, like how soon she will appear, and how soon we'll actually have an official piece of artwork for her. Because again, that one, the artwork, the very blurry artwork that somehow was floating around, I'm pretty sure that was just fan made, because it doesn't look as though it really fits into the design of the official artwork right now for Monster High G3. But still, it, you know, also, I feel like that would have just been a little bit too perfect, like perfect timing. So I don't think that was official, but I do think the description, it could be very likely true. And of course, the inclusion of these, the return of these characters, you know, Rochelle, Robecca, River Styx, because they were initially supposed to appear anyway in the animated show for the 3rd season. I think it is very likely that they will appear in a future core series as dolls, just, you know, probably next year, not this year. This year we're getting Nephra, obviously Cupid, Jennifier, and it would be really fun if we also had you know, Mercedes. You know, she already had her G3 screen appearance, but she never got her doll, so maybe that will happen too. But who knows, honestly, these are all just rumors, so just take this with a grain of salt. But to me personally, I do think it's very likely. I think it is very likely, and it is going to happen sooner or later. We will see G3 Robecca appear for sure in doll form. I think, yeah. It's just a matter of when, because again, they were gonna bring her back anyway in the show, so it's very likely that they were also planning for her to get a doll. And then yes, we have the big story for today, which is that we have our first look at the upcoming 7th series of Skulltimate Secrets. It's called the OASIS line. Basically, it's like a beach-themed line, which includes Jennifier's 2nd ever G3 doll, the return of Laguna, and of course, we have a pink character here in the form of Draculaura. Okay, starting off here with Laguna. She looks amazing. Obviously, let's remember the last time Laguna was in a Skulltimate Secrets series, it was way back in the Iridescent series, and since then she hasn't appeared in a single line, which is really weird. But yes, she's back now in arguably which line which is most, you know, suited to her, as it's like a beach line. So I think definitely this is kind of like her territory. So she has a bandana on, some sunglasses, we have some dangly earrings as well. Her top kind of looks like a seashell with some really bright colors, and then we have what seems to be kind of like a shawl or wrap, you know, around her shoulders. And then her skirt has like frills and seems to have some kind of like pearl belt with also some attached mini seashells around the pearl area. And then we have her legs, which if you notice, actually, she seems to have some kind of like light bubble designs around her knees, which that is new. Usually her legs are just straight blue, like from the knees below. But now she even has these added little bubbles like appearing around her knees. So very interesting design choice here for, you know, to incorporate more blue designs around her knees. And then we have her shoes, which are just a coral shade with some, just a new mold, I'm assuming. So it obviously we can see here that not only is this like a beach theme, but this is also introducing a brand new packaging style with the Skulltimate Secrets locker being now in the shape of a suitcase. So this is yet another new locker shape, and that's cool. That's interesting. You know, like a suitcase that's with a little handle. That's really cute. But at the same time, I mean, it's still plastic, and it's still a huge plastic locker that most of us will not use and will just take up storage space. So I think most of us would still prefer for them to just release the dolls in normal packaging that we can then throw away, because I do think it is becoming excessive. The amount, like this is the 7th series. This is the number 7 series of Skulltimate Secrets. Can you just let that sink in? And like the initial 2 series of Skulltimate Secrets, they had 5 dolls, so that was 10 lockers already. And then from there on out we had like I believe then we had 4, and then yeah, most recently they've stuck with 3 dolls in every series. But still, that's so many lockers, like especially if you're a completionist. What are you where are you storing all these lockers? Like, that's insane. But yeah, I hope that in the future they will give us these dolls in just the normal packaging style, because you know, LOL Surprise OMG, they have the surprise gimmick too, but their packaging is not plastic lockers. Like, if MGA can do it, then Mattel can do it too. I just don't understand why we have to get these huge plastic lockers that just take up space, and they're honestly just plastic waste. Anyway, what do you think of Laguna? I think she's really pretty. I like her colors, but definitely, you know, as we've seen in the past, the artwork usually is not the best kind of depiction of the dolls, because of course dolls look different than the artwork, and colors vary, proportions vary, fabrics look different in person on the dolls. But I think design wise she looks fun. I like the idea of the bandanas being also like something that every character has. And next we have Jennifier, and this is again her second ever G3 doll, which is very exciting. Now for her, the color theming seems to be heavily like purple, which, you know, usually we see purple on Claudine. And Jennifier, I guess she's kind of like reclaiming that color for herself, because not only does she have purple streaks in her hair, but she also has a majority of her outfit is in purple, which I do think works well in contrast to her, you know, minty skin tone. But I do feel also like red works well for Jennifier, you know, gold of course, you know, like green of course. So, but I guess because they want to keep every girl mainly like one color theme, you know, purple for Jennifier, blue, pink for Laguna, and then we have like red, I guess, for Draculaura. I guess that's why we have purple mainly for Jennifier. I don't mind it. I think it looks good on her, but I'm wondering like for the future of Jennifier dolls if they're going to keep going with purple for her. Anyway, so for her, she also has a bandana on, a headpiece, headscarf, and then we have sunglasses which look fun. Her hair is flowing in the wind. We have a side part, some cloud looking earrings which look really fun. She's holding a gold key, which I guess, yeah, of course, the key gimmick is still very much a part of this reveal feature as well for the doors. And then her top is also similar to Laguna's, with it kind of looking like a shell. We have some more pearl details on the front, which I have seen people speculate that perhaps these tops are plastic molded tops, so that would suck. But we have seen that be done before with a previous the Skulltimate Secrets, the Pop Star series with Draculaura, Cleo, Abby, Claudine. Those dolls also had corset pieces that were plastic molded on, but you were able to remove them. So as long as it's something similar like that, I do think, you know, the execution could be okay. But I hope that they do at least have some kind of tank top underneath these seashell molded on tops, if that is the case. Anyway, but yeah, the design looks nice. We have another kind of wrap for her, or although this kind of looks more like it's just like an off the shoulder, like kind of like coat, like jacket, right? Like a light shirt that she just has wrapped around her shoulders. So maybe it's not a shawl or like a scarf, but more rather just an open shirt. It has kind of like an ongoing print, almost looks like a woven print. Interesting. And then her skirt seems to be obviously also purple, but then we have like a gold belt, and then also some frills on the back as kind of like a train. I like her makeup, again, just mainly purple. And then her shoes are just very simple, mint colored, wedge heels with some red painted on flowers in the back. Yeah, overall, Jennifier looks great here. I just think for me, maybe it's a bit too much purple. But yeah, I don't mind. I just feel like maybe a pop of red would have really been helpful here. But even so, she really looks fun. But obviously, we need to see the actual doll. And lastly, as we have Draculaura, and I think she looks good, but definitely I think she's like the least interesting out of all three. Unsurprisingly, honestly, I think for a beach themed line, this character, it should have been Cleo, not Draculaura. I feel like Cleo, wow, we could have gotten a sickening design for her. She would have looked amazing. Or Claudine, I don't know, but just like Draculaura, it really does feel like Draculaura is here just because she, someone's got to fill the pink doll quota for every series, and sometimes it's Caddy, like recently Caddy was the pink doll, right? But mostly it's always Draculaura who is the inclusion for it, the pink doll for every Skulltimate Secrets series. I just feel like Cleo would have been amazing here, but yeah, anyway, so Draculaura also has a headscarf on, sunglasses as well, which are very pointy, some dangly looking tassel earrings with a heart shaped as well. And then her top also has kind of like a rose shell looking piece that might be plastic again, or it might all be just like fabric. Then we have her wraparound shawl, which also is kind of off the shoulder. So it might be like a shirt, like open shirt kind of thing, or it might be an actual shawl, like scarf that she just has draped around her arms. I'm not sure. And then we have her skirt, which is kind of like a blood red burgundy. And then it also has some light ruffles at the very bottom, as we can see. And then her shoes are some, simple wedges with some black roses painted on the front. By the way, they each have their own suitcase luggage that they include. And they also have a unique skullet icon on the very top, which is very fun. And those are basically all of our first looks at the new Skulltimate Secrets Series 7 dolls. This artwork is now no longer done by Dark, let's remember as well. So I'm not sure who is doing this artwork, but it's definitely doing, whoever it is, they're doing a good job at kind of like replicating and imitating the art style of Dark. But yeah, anyway, who is your favorite out of these three? My favorite would have to be Laguna. I mean, no surprise. I think for a lot of people, Laguna is their favorite just because, it has been a second since we've had a Laguna doll. But also in terms of like including, like her inclusion in this Skulltimate Secrets series, it has been a while. It's like since the Iridescent, so that like since the second series, Laguna hasn't been a part of Skulltimate Secrets. So it is fun that she's finally back. And then, of course, on top of that, we have Jennifier's second ever G3 doll, which is really cool, even though I feel like for me, it's still like too much purple, definitely too much purple. I feel like maybe some red would have helped, some more gold elements, right? But I don't mind the purple too much. I get what they were going for, that they really wanted each girl to have, every ghoul to have a respective color theming. So it's very, visually strong, visually striking, I guess. So I get that, but still, like, her secondary color could have been more green. I do know that her shoes are green, and then she, like, her headscarf is green, but still, like, majority of her, like, her entire outfit is basically purple. So yeah, I just feel like, overall, really nice. And then Draculaura is kind of boring. She's kind of just here because they had to include a pink character because I feel like Mattel is scared to also MJ, every toy manufacturers, they know that pink dolls sell the best, so of course they would always prefer to have a pink doll in any collection or series that they release. So I get that, but still, Cleo would have made more sense here, creatively speaking, and just canonically speaking. Like, I know that Draculaura does go to beaches, it happens, like she can be at a beach, obviously, but I feel like it just would have been more interesting and more fun if Cleo was here and not Draculaura, just for the sake of Draculaura being here. Anyway, again, so my favorite is Laguna. She's really fun. Jennifier is my second favorite, and my least favorite is Draculaura. But what is your ranking so far? And again, this is just the artwork. This is just the artwork. So I definitely am excited to see like the actual dolls themselves. And that was all of the Monster High news we had for today. But what do you think? Let me know down below. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below, and you get some more perks as well. Of course, only if you're able to, and so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time, stay peachy. Kisses.